my butt. Suck my butt.
How would you children like to suck on my chocolate salty balls?
Oh, you mean like a chocolate candy?
No, I mean my balls.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of SMB, a South Park review. Each and every week, we break down South Park for you in linear fashion. I'm not going to delay, because I'm your only one here. I'm your host, Nate. I can't be beat. Your guy who's high where the air is dry. Your boy, MSG. Let's get right into it. Season 13, episode number 9, Butter's Bottom Bitch. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to SMB number 193, as I review with you the 9th episode of Season 13 and the 190th overall episode of South Park as it first aired on October the 14th, 2009. Fun fact, that is, I believe, a close family member's birthday of mine. I don't want to reveal which one, but happy birthday to you. I love you. Synopsis here for this episode includes the fact that Butters is determined to get his first kiss. That's how, kind of like what the overall arc starts off with this show is. So his friends, make fun of him for it. And it's all going to be, of course, breaks down into two different plots here with Butters and what ensues from trying to get a kiss, as well as, rampant prostitution crime in the town of South Park. But we'll get there. Let's start off with how this episode begins. The boys are beating up Butters again. They've got him tied to a flagpole, via tether pole, if you will. They got him on the top, kind of like wedgie style. And Stan and Kyle show up. They're like, what the hell's going on? Why are you beating up Butters this time, Cartman? And Cartman explains that Butters has never kissed a girl. So they all decide some of them decide it's not really a good reason to beat up Butters. But Butters is like, yeah, I haven't kissed a girl. It's at this point, though, Clyde runs over and states that Sally Darson is actually giving out kisses for $5 behind the school. And it's at this point, all the boys decide that Butters should pay to get his first kiss. So we begin the episode here with Butters tied up to the tetherball ball. And, of course, we get Kyle interjecting Cartman, berating Butters and hitting him with the ball itself.
All right, cool, guys. Gather all around.
So here's
Everyone
Cartman
should be a
now.
witness to this. All right, you ready?
Craig,
now say,
Kenny,
I'm a dork and
Jimmy
I deserve
there,
what's coming to me.
onlooking.
Come on, dude. I'm a dork and I deserve what's coming to me. I'm a dork and I deserve what's coming to me.
As you can see there, Butters tied up to the top of the pole. Now here comes Kyle and Stan.
Fellas, my underwear is so far up my butt crack, my legs are numb. Well, that's what you get for being a douchebag again, Butters. You gotta take your medicine. Yeah, I guess I deserve it. Hey, what the hell are you guys picking on Butters for this time? Dude, you guys are not gonna believe this. You know what we just found out? Well, it turns out that Butters, our Butters, has never kissed a girl.
Whoa. And then he gets hit with the...
So what? So, I'm almost 9 years old, and anyone who hasn't kissed a girl by 4th grade is a dork.
According to the bylaws there of 4th grade elementary, if you have not kissed a young lady, or I guess anybody, in this case now in 2023, you're a dork. I don't know if I would agree with that. Did I have my first kiss at a age or younger? Yes, I would in fact say I did. That is neither here or there for the story here, though. Butters, of course, is chastised by his friends, and as I mentioned, Clyde then shows up and says, hey, there's this chick she'll give out kisses for free. Well, not for free, I'm sorry. There's this chick she'll give out kisses for $5. So now Butters prepares himself, and he's going to go get that kiss from Sally.
Butters, I think you should reconsider this. How come? Dude, you don't want your first kiss to be something you paid for.
Kyle here.
It's supposed to be special.
Making a good point.
Why don't you go sit under a rainbow and write a poem, Kyle? I gotta do this. I gotta know what it feels like.
Butters, of course, now makes his way there, and then he gets to the back of the school, the bungalow here, and here's Sally.
Okay. So you got money? Oh, money. Right.
The exchange of...
a $5 bill. All for you.
All for you. She pulls out her wad of cash there, then kisses Butters, and Butters receives salvation. As Butters now walks back to his group of friends and all the boys, and they proudly salute Butters as a man.
Atta boy, Butters!
Atta boy, Butters! Good job, man!
Yeah, Butters.
And now Butters here, before we cut here, Butters now laying in bed at night. I'm a man.
Boy, oh boy, I finally did it. I'm a man.
I'm a man, says Butters. Now, Butters, of course, thinks that because he got that first kiss and he is a man, that he now has to step his game up, right? He's because he's one of the restrictive of his friends, and now he's, he thinks he's got to take more things more seriously, and he's got to start living life as an adult. So Butters starts promoting Sally's services the next day at school to other unpopular boys. Scott Malkinson visits for one as an example. Sally then is starting to cut Butters in on the fee. So anytime Butters brings her a client, she gives Butters $2. So they're starting to enjoy the money, and Butters suggests turning into a full-fledged company, suggesting, hey, what if we get another girl who can fill in when you're not available? And then it turns into a montage where Butters has now hired 3 or 4 additional girls, and they turn it into a full-fledged company anytime Sally, of course, is not busy. And now this will, of course, make Butters feel a lot more confident, right? He's making a bunch of money. He's got a lot of girls, and he's getting free kisses, too. So we'll showcase a little bit that here as far as Butters starting his brand new kissing company. And you better watch it, because if you don't, you're going to get a cloudy storm.
Bring someone on, show her what to do, and then share all our money together.
Wow, you're right, Butters. I should start expanding.
We could have our very own kissing company.
We could have our very own kissing company, Butters says there. So here's the breakdown.
A successful business is innovation.
Innovation.
I think maybe we need to understand that some boys simply can't afford the $5 for a kiss. So what if we start also charging just $2?
Just $2.
Wow, that's a great idea, Butters.
Thanks. Sally, I think your position behind the tent building at recess is perfect. Megan, I'm thinking about moving.
Megan, Ashley, and Annie are the 3 recruits there.
I got a kissing booth set up at the kids' fair on Saturday.
So we pause right here. Some of the things they say: increased revenue, customer satisfaction, work the playground, $2 hugs, and Friday special. Just some notes there from the scene itself. Well, continuing on now, Butters has made this company successful. Somewhere to the point where even now the boys, Kyle and Stan are like, have you seen that, such and such is off kissing another person? Butters then Butters rolls up and he tells the main boys about it. Now, most of the boys are, of course, disgusted by the idea about it. Even Cartman, though, of course, is a little bit impressed with all that money. He's like, dude, you made all this money on chicks? But Kyle goes on to tell him that he's a common pimp and that he didn't come up with some great idea, that it's been going on for, hundreds of years. So Butters then goes, a pimp. So Butters looks up what the term pimp means with one of the girls, Sally. And he's like, oh, Sally, it says here, you're my bottom bitch. The one girl the pimp reserves for himself, or the player's favorite. He then notices a pimp convention identified by a flyer as the player's ball. And he goes to get tips from other actual pimps. And he'll eventually come home later in the evening and his parents inquire about his girlfriend. And of course, when they're shocked that Butters has got a bunch of girlfriends, if you know what I'm saying. Sally's just my bottom bitch. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to go ahead and we'll show a couple of clips here. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep. I am founder and head CEO of the Butters Kissing Company.
Butters now telling
Just look at this.
Shows all the money.
Damn, dude, you made all that money off of chicks?
Off of chicks?
Yeah, you guys, it's the most genius idea I've ever come up with. A lot of boys would pay to kiss my employees. You didn't think of anything, Butters. Guys have been doing what you're doing for years. You're nothing but a common pimp.
It's fair. They all walk away.
A pimp.
So now, as I mentioned, they look at what pimp is, so we jump forward here.
Boy, Kyle was right, Sally. There's guys with kissing companies all over the country. The person managing all the women
Butters
is known
CEO.
as the pimp, while the working women are referred to as hoe or bitch. Oh, you're a bitch, Sally.
Oh.
Hey, look at
Ooh.
this. There's
She's
about
all
to be
excited
a
about it.
convention, it looks like. I gotta get to that convention, Sally. I could learn all kinds of stuff for our company.
Now Butters goes to the player's ball.
Yeah, I'm just starting out. I really came last minute because I was hoping to learn more about being a successful pimp.
You be pimping?
Yeah, just about a week now. I have 4 girls at the moment, but I feel like I could be doing a better
I feel
job.
like I'll be doing a better job. So now he's going to have a conversation here with them. Called
Now,
pimps.
see, you think you a pimp, but you can't be pimping, know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm saying?
You want to be a pimp, then you gotta learn the game. See, it's
Gotta learn the
all
game.
about knowing the game.
The game.
What's the game?
The game is how you treat the bitches, know what I'm saying? Bitch gotta know when she out there, she making
Yo, money.
motherfucking
Money.
money. Know what I'm saying?
Know what I'm saying?
You got your main bitch, know what I'm saying?
That's your bottom bitch.
That bitch ranked higher than all the other bitches.
So this goes on, and they break it all down to Butters on what it means to be a pimp. We then get home to Butters now.
Hey, Dad!
Butters, we heard a rumor that you might have a little girlfriend? Sally Darson?
Oh, hell, Dad. I got lots of girlfriends. Sally's just my bottom bitch.
Know what I am saying?
Do you know what I am saying?
All right, so while this is going on, the moment Butters started a kissing company, all of a sudden the police were alerted. They were alerted to the fact that there's a new quote-unquote prostitution pimp and ring starting up in South Park. And of course, Officer Yates is not going to have it. So he's going to start going on the prowl in a sting operation to try and get these guys. Now, while this happens throughout the episode, it's very clear that we find out that Officer Yates probably has some bisexual tendencies. Because for him to go so far as what he's about to do in this episode, it has no place in the workforce, and no one would ever suggest to go as far as Officer Yates does. Not discounting the fact he's married and has a wife. I'm just saying. Clearly, Officer Yates likes to have sexual experiences with men. And it's showcased in this episode. So here's Officer Yates now.
Sir, take a look at this. We've got rumors coming in of a possible prostitution company starting up in South Park. What?
What?
Oh, not in my county. We've got no information
So
on the
now
prostitutes.
he decides he's going to go out and go undercover. And here's his first customer.
20 for oral, 50 for half and half. Anal
He's in a dress. He's got a mustache. So the guy gets in the car with the guy.
Right here's good, sexy.
And he's good.
Now, if you wouldn't mind handing over the $20 for oral sex. Oh, okay.
So as soon as he gives the $20, boom, that's what you could stop.
All right, buddy.
But then
Go ahead and unbutton your pants.
it goes further. All right.
All right. Here we go.
Here we go. And then he then continues to give this man oral fellatio. After the man is completely satisfied, that is when he then finally pulls out his gun and he says,
Oh, that's all right. Nothing wrong with it. Freeze!
"Freeze!
You're busted, buddy. I'm a cat.
I'm a cat."
What? It's a sting operation, scumbag, and you're going to jail for soliciting prostitution. Got our first one, boys. I'm bringing him in for booking.
So as you saw there elsewhere, Sergeant Yates, South Park Public Force, realized that they needed to combat that sudden rise in prostitution. He went undercover, and he dresses up a female prostitute, charging separately for oral sex, half and half anal sex. Of course, he still has a mustache, manly body hair, and a deep voice that he doesn't even attempt to disguise. People pay for it. There's one guy that pays $20, as you saw. He eventually goes on next to a group sting and gives the colleagues the code word stretch. But, of course, he waits until after he commits anal sex on the man to call it, confusing the other officers. Then later on, he prostitutes himself to an entire fraternity, and he comes out to the tune of Peaches' Fuck the Pain Away. Afterwards, he arrests all the university students and sharts out all their semen into an evidence bag. It's at this point, the officers are starting to get worried that he's maybe getting a little bit carried away. Yates denies it, and then his phone rings, and his daddy calls him, and then he has to go see his daddy.
$100, correct?
Sure, I have the money right here.
Remember, he's going to give us the code word to move in. Wait for the code word. Stretch.
Code word is stretch. Copy?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, get those pants down.
Oh, you feel good.
Oh, you're a nasty little fuck, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see that hot penis of yours. Oh, yeah, nice.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah, I'm ready when you are.
Oh, yes. That's great.
Yeah, you like it?
Oh, I love
Now, of course,
it.
now all the other cops,
Yeah, come on, harder. Deeper. Oh,
they're all looking around at each other.
yeah, teach me a lesson, Daddy.
Teach this little whore a lesson. Yeah, that's right.
So, of course, now, afterwards, when it's done, then he gives the code word.
Man. Thank you. That was great.
Yeah, you really worked it, Daddy. You really gave my little hole quite a stretch.
And then, boom, now the cops.
That's it. Move it.
That's it. All right, so he gets arrested. Now we jump forward here to the fraternity house, as I mentioned, where he comes out to that song.
Sucking on my titties like you wanted me. Calling.
All right, now I can't play too much there because I don't want to get a hit for copyright. But here's what happens afterwards.
Give it to me. Come on, you sissies. I can fit more of you. Yeah,
Now,
you like your little stripper whore? You like her? Freeze!
and then they all get arrested. He's,
Take
of course,
them all
limping.
to the station for oral and anal sex with a prostitute. Half of them didn't even use a condom. Don't you stupid kids know the diseases you can catch? Hand me that evidence bag.
And then this is where he sharts out the semen.
Some of us are wondering if maybe you're not taking this role a bit far.
What?
The
No
bag of
way.
semen.
Nothing is more important than keeping
It's
prostitution
like a whole
out of our
fucking
community. Oh, hold on, that's my dad.
That's my daddy. That's a great scene there. Okay, so meanwhile, Butters, he's starting to really become kind of like a money man, right? Can say and do whatever he wants. So we get to this classic scene here in the fourth grade classroom where Butters is starting to try and recruit other girls. He starts with Baby and eventually leads to Wendy, which pisses Stan off. And then Butters is going to tell Clyde, hey, if Stan comes near me, here's $100, take care of him. And the boys realize they might have created a monster.
Buy all the purses and shoes you've ever wanted. I'll treat you right, bitch. Shut up. Oh, all right then.
So Butters first gets rejected. Baby now goes to Wendy.
Wendy! Bitch, don't you want to start making some real fucking money? Leave me alone. Well, you were made for the playground, bitch. You should be out there working. Don't you want a new lunchbox? Nice new coat? I can get all that for you, bitch. Butters, dude. What? You can't call my girlfriend a bitch. Oh. Well, all I'm saying, the bitch should be out there working is all. What you doing, bitch? Just giving kisses to Stan for free? You should be making some motherfucking money. Stan? Butters, seriously, if you don't stop this, I'll kick your ass. Clyde, here's $100. If Stan comes near me, punch him. Wow, wait. Dude, we've created a monster. Come on, Wendy, you should be putting that mouth to work.
Butters! Butters, do you have a problem?
Here we go.
All these bitches are kissing fellers, and they haven't figured out that they can be making some serious fucking money.
He makes a good argument. It's true. And that's where we are in society now. The girls did figure it out, and they now can be making some motherfucking money. Except everyone's doing it now. OnlyFans, porn sites, whatever, I don't know, feet things. I don't subscribe to any of these guys. I'm drawing blanks here. But you can figure it out wherever you go. So yeah, nowadays people do that. So, but back then, 2009, Butters was way ahead of the curve. He knew that they could be making some motherfucking money. So here's Kyle now. He's going to approach Butters basically kind of like, don't you think this is wrong what you're doing?
Do you know what I am saying? If you got a girl and she kisses you, sooner or later you're paying for it. You gotta take her out to lunch, take her to a movie, and then spend time listening to all her stupid problems. Look at Stan right there. He's gotta sit there and listen to her stupid motherfucking problems because she kisses him. You ask me, that's a lot more than the $5 my company charges. Butters, what's happened to you? What happened is I became a man. I'm sorry I'm not your little buddy anymore, but there's a time people have to grow up.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Do you know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying, Butters. I do know what you're saying. All right, finally here. Now, as you saw there, Officer Yates, as he took his duties too far, he apparently has a daddy, and that daddy said, I made you my bottom bitch for a reason, Yolanda. That's, I guess, his name. So he often responds to the booty calls. So while this is going on, there's also some prostitutes that are hearing that there is a good, respectful new pimp in town, and of course, that is Butters. Now, back in South Park, as we mentioned, Kyle tried to talk some sense into Butters, but he, of course, said, I'm not your little buddy. And then the prostitutes itself started leaving their pimp. So Butters got a few new girls, right? And then Butters visits the South Park local Acorn office, which is like a bank or a housing company, to apply for housing benefits, mortgage loans, and tax-free statuses for businesses. So Butters is initially refused, but when he identifies that the boss as being a client of some of his real prostitutes began working for Butters, they are actually given benefits. That's kind of funny.
And exactly what kind of business are you running?
It's a kissing company.
And you're making a profit?
Oh, sure. My black employee, Sharice over there, one time she made $2,000 on one customer. Can you believe it? $2,000 just to kiss a feller. She currently stays in a motel room because a lot of her customers see her late. You wouldn't believe the time of night some fellas want to kiss.
Do you keep any record of the men getting these kisses?
Course! My bottom bitch keeps a database of all our
bottom bitch.
Especially the VIPs, like Senator Morris.
Senator Morris?
Sure! Senator Morris gets kisses every day at
Butter's just out motherfuckers right now.
He likes to get kissed?
Where?
In a motel room. Darndest thing, he must get sleepy.
All right, get out of here.
Huh? Why?
I'm not falling for it.
But I heard Acorn helps pimps in their bitches.
We aren't giving
Pimps
you
in their
anything. Get
bitches.
Mrs. Davis, is there some kind of problem?
No, sir.
Hey, Mr. Daniels, you get kisses from my bitch Roxy in the alley behind Sizzler.
And just like
Boy,
that.
how do you like that, bitches? Approval for 2 housing loans and tax-exempt status. File these away, Sally.
And just like that, Butters has gotten benefits for his bitches. So many of the real prostitutes have left their pimps now for Butters, who are still under the belief that is Butters that it's a kissing operation. He doesn't understand. It's a sex operation too. Now, when one of the hoes bitches questions why Sally is bottom bitch, Butters settles it only for Sergeant Yates to come in. Now, Sergeant Yates, as Yolanda, still undercover, asks for a job, making a point of how long it took him to track them down. Yates' original pimp, however, appears outside begging for Yolanda to come back. Now, at first, Yates refuses, but when the pimp proposes to him, he rushes and they make out on Butters' front lawn. Butters, of course, gives permission, saying, I would never stand in the way of true love. But the Butters starts to feel guilty, saying that, he believes that he's taking advantage of these women. And after seeing true love, he is going to leave the company to these women. And he encourages to get out there and make themselves some motherfucking money. So let's go to that.
Excuse me. Well. This must be the
Officer
organization
Yates now,
I've
Yolanda.
been hearing so much about. Took me a long time to find you. You won't believe the hardships I've been through trying to track you down.
So now, as we'll fast forward here, here's his pimp, or her pimp.
Got nothing without you. You got a lot of nerve coming here, Keyshawn.
Keyshawn.
After the way you treated me, I need a pimp that doesn't beat me every time he gets drunk.
Yolanda, I love you. I need you.
He needs
Not
her.
as my bottom bitch.
That is my bottom bitch.
I want to marry you.
Too late for that, Keyshawn.
Stupid.
I just told this pimp I was his bitch.
He's still
now.
undercover as a cop.
Well, hold on now. I'd never get in the way of somebody being happy. Most pimps gotta be good.
Gotta be good to each other,
Even to each other.
You don't change the game. Thanks, pimp. You done changed the game. That's what you did. Marry me, Yolanda. We'll move to a little chateau in Switzerland, get away from all this.
Oh, Keyshawn.
This part's disgusting for some, but yeah, these two just start getting freaky with each other right there on Butters' front lawn. La, 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 la,
I love
la.
you so much.
Babe, I love you too.
He's still undercover. Dude, this is ridiculous. Oh, it's funny. All right, so now we'll jump forward now. Butters is going to encourage the girls to get out there and make some motherfucking money.
When I see real love, like what those two people have, well, it just makes me feel like a dick. Well, I may be a man now, but it doesn't mean I have the right to be earning money for what girls do.
That's a good point.
Whether you're charging fellas for kisses by cash or by making them listen to your stupid motherfucking problems, well, that's your hard work. Bitches, this is your company now. So get out
That's your
there
hard work.
and make yourself some motherfucking money.
Make yourself motherfucking money. All right, so here comes the final scene here. The final scene of the show in Switzerland now. Okay, Yates and the pimp are celebrating their first anniversary, kind of amidst all the photographs that you'll see here of their honeymoon and a wedding in a small house in Switzerland. And as the pimp had discussed earlier, then Yates now starts to show him something after receiving an anniversary gift, only to bring out his badge and yell, "I'm a cap!" And the episode ends with Yates, who has also seems to have forgotten about Butters since he, of course, did not arrest him, but he did go through in following and getting this pimp. So here's the final scene here of the Switzerland scene. So here's the final scene here of Officer Yates and Keyshawn. As you can see there, all the photographs of them getting married. Like, he really went into this. He committed to this
Happy
bit.
anniversary, baby. Do you like them?
For $40,000, $50,000 a year as a cop.
I wanted to get you something extra special.
Got tapped
Well,
in the
hold
booty.
on. I've got something for you too, my love. I just put it right over here by the freeze!
And a cap, Betty.
You're busted, buddy. I'm a cap.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how the episode ends. So I hope you liked that recap here. I hope you laughed along with me. We'll be right back now on the other side for some notes on some trivia, pop culture, and more. We'll be right back. Subscribe to Suck My Balls, a South Park review on Spotify, Apple's, iTunes, anywhere you want to download a podcast. Just type that in, subscribe to our feed. You'll get the latest, greatest episode each and every week. You can also listen to us on YouTube and go back and watch some videos or any of our library. It's all there. Suck My Balls, South Park review. Welcome back on the other side. Once again, shout out to our sponsors. They are provided by Spreaker, as well as hit that like and subscribe button. If you're watching right here on YouTube, visit linktr.ee/SouthParkPod, Linktree, SouthParkPod, and get all of our landing pages, podcast pages, social media outlets, SouthParkPod, and with an S on X, and SouthParkPod on all other social media outlets. I, of course, as I mentioned at the top of your show, I'm your host, Heat, and I can't be beat. I'm your guy who's high where the air is dry, your boy, MSG. And I'm going to read some trivia here for you. I'm not your 2022 Red Rocks Day 1 South Park trivia champion. I'm not a trivia god. I'm not Joe Vernola, but I'm trying my best. So by the time Officer Yates arrested the pimp, he was doing nothing illegal, as he was technically sleeping with his wife and not a prostitute. Fun fact. Many have noticed that this is the only episode where Butters curses. Often he curses occasionally in other episodes, but generally only uses euphemisms like, oh, hamburgers. The gag, of course, is that Butters does not use these words as obscenities, but rather that has learned them to be a trade jargon in his new job as a pimp. Oh, that's funny. In this episode, Butters most commonly used the obscenity is motherfucking. Motherfucking money. Motherfucking bitches. A running gag through the episode is the fact that Officer Yates has his undercover assignment taken too far, and seemingly does not realize he has no need for them to have sex with the guys to arrest them for soliciting prostitution. However, it may also indicate that Yates actually derives pleasure from the act, as I mentioned, and is secretly using his job to fulfill his desires or fantasies. I think he's a little gay. A little bi. Butters telling Kyle, sorry, I'm not your little buddy anymore, is possibly a reference to the animation director Eric Stowe's nickname of Little Buddy. And finally, this is the second episode to include Butters' name in the title, with Butters' very own episode, and this episode being Butters' Bottom Bitch. A couple references to pop culture. One of the pimps that gives Butters advice, it's all about mind control, is designed after comedian Cat Williams with a similar voice and outfit. That's true. One of the pimps was Cat Williams, or sounded like Cat Williams. I didn't play all the pimps' voices because they were basically just all saying the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep your bitch in place. You know what I'm saying?
See, it's all about mind control. You gotta act a part. Any man can control a bitch's heart, but a pimp gotta control a bitch's mind. Know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Yes, I do know what you are saying. You do not have to keep telling me over and over. Butters going to Acorn to get his loan for kissing company references the manufactured Acorn scandal that occurred in 2009. The song that Yates dances to is titled Fuck the Pain Away by Peaches, and according to commentary track, the documentary American Pimp was an inspiration for this episode. Alright, here's a couple episodes of storyline continuity. Scott Malkinson returns, so he may be a regular character on the show now, and thus a new classmate in 4th grade. Cartman also was undercover prostitute in Season 2's episode Chicken Lover. We saw that. Kyle's concern about Butters' first kiss is possibly a reflection of his and Bebe's kiss in clubhouses. And after the Alpha Tau Omega bust of the fraternity, Yates barks to the other officers that half the frat boys did not even use condoms, following up by yelling at the students, "Don't you stupid kids know that diseases you could catch?" This would of course be both a nod to proper condom use and The Ring, the latter in which Kenny died of syphilis, funny enough, despite using a condom just 8 episodes prior in The Ring. Kanye West is seen when Butters goes to the pimp convention drinking alcohol, therefore proving Kanye is still alive in South Park's world. He is also shown in 200 and has a more expanded role later in The Hobbit. An advertisement for s'more schnapps can be seen on the sorority building. And finally, when Butters arrives at the meeting of pimps, the reaction is the same in the episode of Crazy Cripples. Everyone's like, what is going on here? Ladies and gentlemen, that's your pop culture. That's your continuity. That's your trivia. I really like this episode. It's a cult classic. It's Butters' Bottom Bitch. Butters got so many good one-liners in the episode, and it's nice that they actually give him a true Butters episode where he's the center focus. The last time we got kind of like a part Butters episode was the Hell on Earth 2000, whatever, 6 with Steve Irwin jokes, and then of course there was Butters, referencing the fact that he was saying Biggie Smalls, Biggie Smalls, Biggie Smalls. So Butters kind of did have his episode there, but I really liked this one. This one was more of Butters kind of getting out of his character, not understanding the things he was saying, but using profanities as work jargon, not understanding the culture in which he was which he was inviting himself into, and of course, utilizing women in a manner itself to gain money when he himself was not doing anything other than setting up the horny dudes to come pay to have sex with these women. So, ladies and gentlemen, I really like this episode. This is definitely in my top 100 of South Park episodes. What did you think? Drop your comments below. Let me know what you thought about this episode. Did you like this episode? Is this one of your favorite episodes? What episodes do you think in the past were even better as far as when it comes to Butters episodes? Let me know. You can also send us an email at smbsuckmyballspod@gmail.com. Suckmyballspod@gmail.com. Leave us a 5-star review on all of your favorite outlets. Anywhere, anytime. We'd love to hear from you. It would be our pleasure to read it right here on the air. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for another edition of SMB, a South Park review. We'll be back next week for WTF. I hope to have all my boys here, including Joe and Dane. Of course, they work in the professional wrestling business, and the boys are going to get exposed to wrestling. I tried to line up a professional wrestler. We'll see if I can get one by next week to review another edition of South Park. As what happens after the boys go to Denver, Colorado's WWE event and want to become pro wrestlers themselves. We'll find out on another edition of SMB next week. Thanks for stopping by.